Here's a map of the battlefield. Looks like they have a driving tour.
Yep, and here we are up here. Remnants of the Chancellor House. Frances Chancellor and her 6 children stayed in the house until May 3rd, when at the height of the battle, flames engulfed the home and drove the Chancellors away. Yeah, so again, there's the big house. There's that intersection that we were at. This whole entire area was just covered with troops. This is quite an illustration here. Look at this line of troops with the covered wagons coming all the way up this road.
Yeah, that's something.
It goes all the way up. It's like it was pretty severely outnumbered by Union troops.
Clash in the forest. So this 6-day battle of Chancellorsville left behind a human wreckage unmatched in Virginia to that time. Lee won an unlikely victory but lost Stonewall Jackson. The Union Army retreated in a gloomy reign, but would soon be ready to fight again at Gettysburg. Alright, so we're driving along the battlefield tour. And this is a driving tour. But they said that there are points along the road that are marked, and we did pick up a map, which can show us as well, where we'll be able to actually get out and look around and perhaps find some signs of paranormal activity. Okay, so we're walking down along the Confederate trenches where Jackson's Corps was. And this is the battle where Lee lost Jackson. So we're going to go down here a little further along the earthworks. Do an EVP session. Meanwhile, as we're walking, I'm going to kick up the K2 meter and see if we get anything on this. So we've come to a place that's perhaps the center of Jackson's line. We're going to turn on the recorder here. Mm-hmm. I'm Jeff.
I'm Linda.
And we'd like to know if there's anybody else here with us.
We do have birds, sounds of cars in the distance.
Could you tell us your name and rank?
What was your hometown? A car passing.
Do you have a message for any of your family back home?
Who was your commander? When you arrived here, had you been in the war for very long?
Is Stonewall Jackson here with us? Where can I find Stonewall Jackson?
We just finished listening to the EVP session that we did back there in the woods. And I have to say, right from the very beginning, there was a lot of ambient noise. It's amazing how sensitive this new Tascam digital voice recorder is. We're just now getting used to it. But in the initial audio, it doesn't sound like there was actually anything besides just the leaves crunching underfoot and the birds singing and that sort of thing.
All right, so we're stopped here at the Lee Jackson Bivouac.
This is the final meeting in the fateful march. To reach the Union Army's right flank, Jackson would have to march his corps 12 miles over narrow, unpaved roads. The general hoped to have his men moving by dawn on May 2nd, but he got an unusually late start. It was past 7 a.m. before his troops left the camps on the Orange Plank Road and passed this point on the first leg of their journey. Jackson rode near the head of the marching column. His face appeared flushed, his eyes flashed with anticipation of the coming battle. When he reached this intersection, he dismounted and spoke with Generals Lee, A.P. Hill, and Jeb Stuart. The informal council lasted but a few minutes. Jackson then pointed toward the head of this moving column and galloped off. It was the last time that he and Lee would ever meet.
And this is where Lee and Jackson had their final meeting. Let's see if we can perhaps pick up any conversation. I'm Jeff.
I'm Linda.
Is there anybody else here with us right now? Is Stonewall Jackson here? Any of Jackson's men?
It's my understanding that a great plan was hatched here. around a small campfire. What had you discussed?
How far away is the Union Army? So this location, once again, the thing with this battlefield is it's scattered. The points of interest are scattered, and there's highways all about.
Yes.
So you get a lot of ambient noise. So there's no guarantee, especially at a location like this, that we're going to even hear an EVP that might come through.
Right.
But definitely an interesting spot to be at. The
Yes.
spot where they hatched this plan, right there, hunched over this campfire, looking
Yeah.
at maps.
Yeah, and it's a fascinating story, the way they talked about dividing up the troops, leaving a small number of the men back here, and trying to outflank the Union Army that was about 3 miles away at the time. With the help of local residents, they managed to sort of map out a route that would take them to the Union lines, and they managed to sort of, I guess, sneak up on them in a sense.
Hey, look at this. Okay, what are we picking up on here?
Wi-Fi from the truck? I don't know. There is a little flash of something. I don't see any power lines. There's certainly nothing out here, but...
Ah, there we have it. Power lines. All right, so we stopped off at the Lee Jackson bivouac site, did an EVP session. Not sure how conducive it's going to be to an EVP session, or how it was to an EVP session with all the traffic. Very heavily trafficked road. But where we're heading to now looks a little more promising. Our next stop is going to be Slocum's line. And here's Pennsylvania troops fighting along this line on May 3rd, 1863. Now there's houses back there.
Yeah,
I'll bet they're haunted.
probably.
I'm Jeff,
I'm Linda.
and we'd like to know if there's anybody here from Pennsylvania. If there is, could you please tell us your name and rank?
What town were you from?
Is Slocum here with us right now? General Slocum, we'd like to know, where are the Confederate soldiers approaching from right now?
How many men died here?
General Slocum, what if I told you that the Confederates are going to win this battle? How would you respond to that? There we go.
That's interesting.
It is. This box that I'm holding in my hand with the lights on it, you may have already found that if you come near it, it lights up. If that was you, whoever just lit that up, I want to ask you some questions and use this to communicate. If you're a Union soldier, could you light this up for me, please? Okay, thank you. And I'd like to ask just a confirming question, just to make sure it's accurate and my device is working right. If you're a Confederate soldier, can you light this up for me, please?
Whoa.
That's
Holy
pretty
crap.
significant. If you're one of Stonewall Jackson's men, can you light this up for me, please? If you're one of Robert E. Lee's men, can you light this up for me, please? Maybe you already did. If you're from Virginia, can you light this up for me, please? If you're still here and wish to talk, would you light this up for me? Thank you for your time. So this was definitely interesting, and it's something that we're going to have to review that EVP, of course, the recording, see if we got any EVPs. But with the K2 meter here, there were some pretty cool things. It lit up. I mean, it did light up when I said, are you a Union soldier? But when I said, are you Confederate?
Right.
It went all the way up, like a strong spike.
And stayed up.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Stayed up there.
Now, could be both Union and Confederate soldiers here.
It could be.
That could be one
Very
thing.
well could be.
But it was cool because I asked if you were under Stonewall Jackson lighted up. Nothing.
Nothing happened.
Are you under Lee lighted up? And we got a small spike. So I said, are you from Virginia? And then it didn't light up. If they were under Lee, I would have thought they would have probably been with the Virginia's Army.
Yeah.
But when that didn't light up, I was thinking, okay, maybe we're getting some random spikes here from something.
Right.
But then I asked the question, I said, if you are still here and wish to communicate it further, will you light it up? And it didn't light up again, and I'm holding it in my hand now. It hasn't lit up since then.
Yeah.
So perhaps after I asked that last question, whoever was here wandered on.
Could be. Yeah.
Or got tired of talking to us.
Yeah.
They realized from my accent that I'm a Yankee and have relatives from Pennsylvania, and they were like, okay.
They hauled ass.
Yeah, maybe.
We're losing daylight here.
I'm assuming that's real, not like ghost fire.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be nice if it was ghost fire.
We'd never know. That's the thing about that. We would never know if that was ghost fire or not.
Yeah.
Jeez. All right. So we're here at Jackson's Flank, And this is definitely a point of interest. Very
Yes.
exciting. We're going to do an EVP session here.
Mm-hmm.
Break out the K2 meter once again. I love going old school.
Yes.
Just the recorder and the K2 meter. K2 meter may not be
Right.
really old school, but
True.
solid EVP sessions is what we're looking for here.
Yeah.
No spirit box, no fancy equipment,
Right.
just old fashioned.
Mhm.
Let's see what we can get. I'm Jeff.
I'm Linda.
And we'd like to know if any of Stonewall Jackson's men are here with us right now. If you are, could you please tell us your name and rank?
Something like dogs barking off in the distance.
Geese.
Geese. Is that what that is? Oh, yeah. It's an amazing amount of traffic out there on the road, too.
That's right.
It's a lot of geese. Canada geese.
And they've been flying that same path probably since the Civil War.
Yeah.
Not those exact geese, but their relatives probably.
Yeah, they're the generations. Yes.
How many men have you lost thus far in the battle? How many of your friends have you lost so far in this battle? Look at that.
Huh.
Okay. You may have seen that you can make this little box light up if you come near it. I'd like to ask you some questions. If you are a Confederate soldier, can you light this up for me? If you are a Union soldier, can you light this up for me? If you are neither and simply a civilian, can you light this up for me? Well, that was definitely an interesting passing spike there, I should say.
Mhm.
No power lines, simply open fields around us.